Today you will complete a web quest to learn about sensory disabilities. You will answer a research question and gather information and evidence from sources to answer the questions: what is a sensory disability? What challenges do those with sensory disability face? What treatments and devices are currently available to help those who live with the sensory disability? First, you will choose a sensory disability to research. You should be able to explain the disability, challenges that people or animals with that disability face, and what current treatments, devices, or accommodations are available to help. Then you will find two doctors or veterinarians to contact to complete your interview. On your organizer, write at least 3 questions you will ask during your interview to learn more. You can call, email, or set up a Google Meet for the interview. Once you have gathered your information from your research, your group will collaborate to present your understanding to each other. You can create a poster or Google slide to present your information. Once your group has presented to each other, the team will create an idea board to develop a plan to answer the driving question: what invention might be helpful to people or animals who have challenges with using one of their 5 senses? Your group will use your research from this web quest to think of an invention that could help a person or an animal with a sensory disability. Then the group will create a commercial or magazine advertisement for your new invention. Some publishing options include a poster, Flipgrid, Animaker, or Canva. So to get started, you will click on the task link. During this web quest, your goal is to conduct research on a sensory disability to gather information and evidence from sources. After recording your research and sources in your organizer, you will present what you learned to your group. So how will you choose to present? A poster or a Google slide? As you complete the web quest, please keep in mind that once your group has presented to each other, the team will create an idea board to develop a plan to answer the driving question: what invention might be helpful to people or animals who have challenges with using one of their 5 senses? So here you have your organizer. If you click on this box with the arrow, it's going to open it in presentation mode. You can choose to use the printed copy and write your information into the organizers, or if you would like to complete a digital copy, if you click these 3 dots, click More, open an editor, you will make a copy so that you can edit your copy. Make a copy entire presentation. I would put your name at the beginning and then click Make a Copy. In your organizer, the first organizer you have are 3 facts that you learn about a sensory disability, or what is a sensory disability, and then you have a bubble map. You're going to put in the middle what sensory disability you are going to research, and you're going to put if it is for people or for animals, and we'll go over that a little bit more in a minute. This organizer is questions that you have for a doctor or a veterinarian. So who to interview, you've got 2 bullets right here. This is where you're going to put the doctor or veterinarian's name and phone number or email address. And then you'll type or write your 3 questions here. And once you complete your interview, you will add the responses in the box underneath your question. And this is where you will come up with a plan for the invention that you are going to design with your group. Over here is a checklist. So you have a checklist For the week one, the brainstorm and research, which is this part of the WebQuest, is that part. And then your write and create. So that's when you're coming up, you're drafting your commercial or your advertisement. And this is where you will practice and present. So there's reminders for each part of our 3-week project. We go to process. So we have what are sensory disabilities? I have put in the organizer to remind you what you need to do for each part. So here you're learning what sensory disabilities are. So you're going to put in 3 things that you learn about sensory disabilities from this page. So you have a video, and then you also have an article that you can read to get your information for what sensory disabilities are. Once you have gotten that information, you're going to come down and you are going to choose one. You're either going to choose hearing loss or vision loss. So if you choose to research about vision loss, you'll click the link here. And this is where you will fill in your bubble map. So your topic is going to be vision loss. You can get some information from the article about blindness. And then again, you're going to make another choice. Do you want to learn about vision loss in people or vision loss in animals? In your organizer, if you choose people, you're going to put vision loss in people. If you choose animals, you will put vision loss in animals. If you come down and click on vision loss in people, if that's the topic that you decide, again, you're filling in your bubble map from the information that you get from this page. So you've got some videos that you can watch, and you have some sites to visit to get some information. Once you have answered the question, so on your bubble map, you have some freedom for information that you put in 4 of the boxes, but remember you also need to come up with challenges that people who have vision loss experience. And then what are some things that help? So what are some of those devices, some of the accommodations or treatments that help people who have vision loss? And then down here, your next organizer is questions I have, who to interview. You're coming up with 3 questions. So down here, there are links to doctors that you can go to. So if you click on it, you're going to come to the page. You're going to look for the doctor's name and the contact information for the doctor. So here it has our doctors. There's Dr. Brian Wallace and Dr. Christy Wallace. So you can choose one of those. And then here is the phone number that you can put into your organizer. Then you would choose a second link to go to and find the doctor's name and their contact information. When you are finished, you will click on conclusion. When you come to the conclusion, remember today you researched to learn what a sensory disability is. Now you understand challenges a person or an animal with a sensory disability faces and the treatments, devices, or accommodations that are currently available to help those that live with the sensory disability. You will present your research to your group. Once each of you has presented to each other with your new understanding, I want you to think about that driving question. What invention might be helpful to people or animals who have challenges with using one of their 5 senses? The team will create an idea board to develop a plan to answer the driving question. Your group will use your research from this web quest to think of an invention that could help a person or an animal with a sensory disability. Then the group will create a commercial or magazine advertisement for your new invention. Remember, for your commercial or advertisement, your options are Flipgrid, a poster, Animaker, or Canva, and that is something that you will be working on later in this project. So for now, we're completing the WebQuest and the organizers. Then you can go to evaluation. Take a look at your rubric. Remember, you can open this up big to be able to see it. So you're looking at collaboration, research and text evidence, content, and then presentation later on. So today I want you to really focus on the collaboration and the research text evidence for this web quest. And then here is your checklist for brainstorming and researching to help you make sure you have covered everything. You want to make sure you're writing your sources when you gather your information. And if you come to the bottom, if you're finished early, there are two different activities that you can complete. So first there is finger spelling with machine learning. So this is going to help you learn how to do sign language. And then this is where you can type into the box and then click see it in Braille. So for example, if I type my first name, see it in Braille, it shows me how my name would be written in Braille. I just want to show you real quick. It's going to be the same format. If you decided to do hearing loss, you're going to go through the same way. And when you get to this part, you're going to make your choice. So you've got your bubble map. You're doing hearing loss. You can fill in one of your squares from what you learned from this article. And then if you want to do hearing loss in animals, you're going to add that into your bubble, hearing loss in animals. And you've got several different resources, some articles and some videos to gather your information to complete this bubble map. You're still making sure you're getting those challenges that animals experience if they have hearing loss. And then what are some things that help those animals? Then questions that you have. You're still coming up with 2 people to interview from the links. Your 3 questions for the interview. So we've got some veterinarians, and then we also have, this is a university that has a program that specializes in audiology with animals. So that could be something to look into, to reach out and contact someone. We've got some contact information right here to do your interview. So that is another option. You will still go to the conclusion, coming up with your plan, evaluating how you've done using that same rubric and checklist. And then you've got the activities for once you are finished. So you've got several different choices that you can make depending on what your interests are, but it's all going to be the same format and the same organizers that you are using. So I wish you happy research. I am excited to see what you learn about sensory disabilities.